Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, another installment on this inlay. The gentleman I'm doing or trying to help had a suggestion if there was any way he was going to do the individual petals, and I put all the petals together and just engraved. And he suggested, or he was asking, how you could make a kind of a shading effect on the petals. And yes, you can. Let's take the Smart Fill tool, and because I've never moved anything on my page, I can nudge it right back to where it was. So what I would do is fill in one of the petals off the page, left click, right click, and then just kind of make it fun. Take the 2-point line or 3-point curve line and go from like that node to that node, and then kind of give it a little curve. And then take your Smart Fill tool and fill that in and nudge it over. Maybe even nudge it over twice. Nudge that over once. Now we're going to take both these, and this is my only suggestion. I'm not saying it's going to work perfectly, but then I'm going to select both of them. I'm going to make them a light gray by hitting left click. Then I'm going to click just on one of them, and I'm going to get the interactive fill tool, and I'm going to go from the inside out, but then I'm going to grab some black, and I'm going to go and fill it in with the black. And then you can change your slide bar to make it less black or more black, however you want it. I'm having trouble getting back to the slide bar. There we go. So you can make it quite a bit blacker. Then select off that one and select that one. It's still going to show up on the other one for a second. But then you could go from like that edge to that edge, and then I'm just left clicking and dragging black into that box. So I want black on the outside, and that looks pretty good. Let's go off of it a little bit more. And then just take that one and nudge it over. If that doesn't look like a leaf, and then I'm not going to say it's going to engrave, but if we nudge it over to the flower, I don't know how it's going to engrave, but it's going to engrave, I think, pretty good, especially if you leave that black line, the black of the Smart Fill. It kind of looks like I still have my, let's try this. Let's nudge them back over. Let's try to combine them, because I'm going to right click no outline. So there shouldn't be an outline. Yeah, that red line went away, and that might even be the advantage. I'm just going to try. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to try to combine them. I don't think it's going to work. Nope. Gives it a good effect, but not one where I'm looking for. I like that. So if you did that to all the petals, and what you'd have to do is cut that out, put that in, and let it run afterwards. And just run it real lightly. So let's do one more petal just to make it kind of see what it's going to look like. And we'll pick this one right here. So let's Smart Fill it. Whoop. It's a little bit different shape, but let's left click, no fill, right click. This one's going to be kind of hard to split because it's so thin. And you could still try it. You could maybe just go from that node to that node and try to, it's not going to work. You'd have to go with a couple of different, blends, and it might be, and this one might be one you don't even do. This one maybe you just fill with black and try to maybe just do one side of it with so let's fill it in with gray. Take away the outline by right clicking no outline, and it didn't work. Whoop. That'll happen when you got the fill tool still on. I don't know why that's still got an outline, but let's try to use the interactive fill tool now and just do the same thing, but just add some black. And it's a shame you can't, but you could maybe put it up there, maybe put this down here and You know, you could play around with this for a month of Sundays. I think this is going to engrave pretty cool. Especially if you leave that black line, you could either leave that black line or take that black line out. But when you do this one and, you know, you got some ones that'll split off, I think that'll be cool. Now, somebody asked me, and I wasn't going to make a video for it. I was just going to, let me try to break the curve part, because we actually took this out in the last video. Somebody asked me how. So I'm suggesting he engraved this to a certain depth. If he's using 1/4 inch wood or even 1/2 inch wood, and he's going to go down 1/8 of an inch, they asked, how do you know you're going to be 1/8 of an inch? How can you measure that depth? Well, what you can do is just draw you a circle and fill it with black and engrave that out of a scrap piece of wood, you know, somewhere else, and engrave that at the same power and same speed. Well, you know, I take that back. Don't engrave it at all. Just cut it out. Cut that out and then just bring it in and lay it in there. And you can feel with your finger without moving your wood, maybe even put some blue tape. You can feel if it's high or low, whether you need to go again and run it a little bit deeper. You always want it a little bit proud so you can sand it off and make it flush. And then you put it back in your laser and you run that black line and these lines. And you could probably run these all at one time. I would actually run the black lines. So if this is the corner of my laser bed right here, let's just bring it in and act like this is the corner of my laser bed at 0, 0. I would actually take this and run it off the page, off the page, off the page. And then you could actually group all these together when you get them all made, Control G. And then I would run this. So after you've got the red wood, you know, if you're going to use red or whatever color wood, you know, run this at like pretty deep. And then take that out of the way, nudge that out of the way, and bring this in and run this like at 100 speed and at 100 power, just real lightly, just to give it some shading. Anyway, I hope that answered his questions. It's a little bit of a process, but the end result might be really beneficial. Hope that helped. Thank you.